This is 7 News.
Tonight, Cyclone Lua powers across the northwest coast, packing winds at 250 kilometres per hour. A bush grave uncovered in a pine forest where a young mother is believed buried. A big bushfire in the middle of City Beach. And tributes to a remarkable Australian, the passing of Margaret Whitlam.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Emmy Kubainski.
Good evening. Cyclone Lua has this afternoon crossed the West Australian coast near Parry in our far north. It was a Category 4 when it hit, with winds of 250 kilometres per hour. So far, there are no reports of serious damage. By morning, it will weaken, but the Pilbara and Gascoyne are now bracing for floods.
Tropical Cyclone Lua kissed the coast about 150 kilometres northeast of Port Hedland about 2 o'clock. With winds at the centre in excess of 250 kilometres an hour, it punched through Parry Station and Roadhouse.
If I was in a boat, I'd say I was sinking. The winds are just horrendous outside.
At Category 4, Lua was the biggest cyclone system since Cyclone Yassi, which hit the Queensland coast in February last year.
It's very, very intense with very destructive winds and property and people in their path. I hope they're all okay.
Port Hedland was hit by gale force winds and heavy rain, but missed the worst of it. Shops and businesses have been closed all day.
Mum's scared, she's more frightened than me.
The occupants of this vehicle risked a heavy fine when they were caught by police out in the open during a red alert. Port Hedland came off red alert about half an hour ago as communities south of here were moved onto it. Towns like the historic Marble Bar, it's right in Lua's path. Lua has been such a big system that even though it's made landfall, it's expected to remain a tropical cyclone for at least 24 hours. At Yarry Station, they're waiting for Lua to hit.
You always just hope, I suppose, that the building you're actually in stays in one piece, but you know that something's going to cop it.
Authorities are now bracing for widespread flooding. In Port Hedland, Geof Parry, 7 News.
Police have discovered a bush grave in the Nangara pine plantation where the body of a Morley mother is believed to be buried. Chantelle Toohey has the details.
Forensic police protecting the area where Nicole Bates' body is believed to have been buried. The grim discovery comes just a day after major crime detectives charged a 39-year-old High Wycombe man with her murder. It's believed the Morley mother of 4 was killed at a Homes West unit in Westminster just over 2 weeks ago. Her body buried in the Nangara pine plantation. I'm currently about 50 metres away from the spot where Nicole's body is believed to be buried. Now, the bush grave is just off a 4-wheel drive track. There are trail bike riders all around here, and we're only about half a kilometre away from Old Yanship Road. Chantelle Toohey, 7 News.
Fire crews are at the scene of a bushfire in City Beach. The blaze started in bushland between Stevenson and Montgomery Avenue in Bold Park just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. 40 firefighters, helitacs and water bombers are fighting the blaze. A number of roads have been closed in the area, but no properties are under threat. The arson squad believes the fire was deliberately lit. A sports car has smashed into a tree in Padbury, killing a 49-year-old female passenger. The 42-year-old driver is in hospital with serious injuries, and a 15-year-old boy is in a critical condition after crashing an off-road motorbike on Mirrabooka Avenue last night. Former State Labor MP Jay Radisich died this morning after a long battle with cancer. Ms Radisich was the youngest woman elected to State Parliament when she won the seat of Swan Hills in 2001. In the same year, she was diagnosed with cancer and lost a kidney. The cancer returned a year ago when she travelled to China for alternative treatment. Aged 35, Ms Radisich spent the past 2 weeks in palliative care. Margaret Whitlam was remembered today not only as the wife of a former Prime Minister, but as a remarkable and strong woman in her own right. She died in Sydney this morning at the age of 92.
Margaret Whitlam passed away peacefully at around 7 o'clock this morning here at St Vincent's Hospital, her bed surrounded by family.
George Clooney is now a criminal in real life after being arrested during a protest outside the Sudanese embassy in the United States. The Hollywood star says he felt humiliated at being handcuffed and bundled into a police car with his father for crossing police lines.
Immediately, we need humanitarian aid to be allowed into the Sudan before it becomes the worst humanitarian crisis in the world.
Clooney has just returned from his 6th trip to Sudan. And time for sport with Adrian Barich. And injury concerns for the Dockers, Barra.
Yes, Em, coming up an update on Luke McFarlane and Michael Johnson, plus Superhawk. Lance Buddy Franklin with one of the goals of the pre-season. And history for Daniel from Duncraig at the Australian Grand Prix. The Fremantle Dockers copped 2 injuries during last night's 3-point loss to Hawthorn at Patterson Stadium. But the news was good today. Luke McFarlane and Michael Johnson should both be available for round 1 against Geelong.
The final hurdle for Freo before the season proper, and the Hawks brought their stars. Buddy Franklin was doing things only he can do. He had some extra space after Luke McFarlane was forced from the ground from a heavy hit.
He's got KO'd. They did the concussion test. They thought he was getting right to come back on, then he vomited, and then so he's no good, so we just binned him.
Michael Johnson also left early. An ankle injury puts him in some doubt for round 1. Freo led late in the game. Kepler Bradley's long goal a standout, while Jack Anthony showed promise with 2 goals. But a free kick against Hayden Ballantyne in the middle of the ground led to a late goal and a win for the Hawks.
Well, look, they're competitive beasts, and look, we're, a team that likes to win games of football.
Ryan Daniels, 7 News.
The brilliant boy from Duncraig, Daniel Ricciardo, will start from 10th on the grid for tomorrow's Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park. Mark Webber will go from 5th, but they'll all be chasing Lewis Hamilton.
His first time racing on home soil, and what a performance.
Ricciardo's on a very good run.
A 22-year-old driving like a seasoned veteran. He even managed to upstage 2 former world champions, beating Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen. Alonso will start from 12th after spinning out. Aussie Mark Webber had tyre problems. He only managed 1 lap in final qualifying, but he's happy to start from 5th.
Tricky back part of qualifying, to be honest. It wasn't the smoothest in terms of preparation from our side. We got, in the end, what we deserved.
They'll be chasing a pair of McLarens. Lewis Hamilton taking pole from Jenson Button. Earlier in the V8s, a 5-car pile-up caused havoc and forced a restart. Tom Atkinson, 7 News.
The Eagles are up by 3 points at half-time. That's all in sport. Now here's Emmy.
Great news, thanks, Barra. Coming up next, the latest weather details, plus the winning numbers in Saturday Night Lotto. 3.3 degrees at 3:43 this afternoon. Right now it's still warm, 31.5 degrees. As you saw earlier in the news, severe tropical cyclone Lua has crossed the Pilbara coast and is tracking southwards. The system is slowly weakening, but expect widespread flooding. Around WA, plenty of wet weather in the Kimberley, mainly sunny along our south coast with rain in the central west. Around the country tomorrow, Brisbane will have showers, partly cloudy for Canberra and Melbourne, a shower or 2 for Sydney. On the water, east northeasterly winds at 13 to 18 knots, shifting south-southwesterly during the afternoon, seas to 1.5 metres. So a few clouds about tomorrow, warming up to 32 degrees, sunny again on Monday, partly cloudy Tuesday, and then staying sunny for the rest of the week. And now it's time for Saturday Lotto. Good luck.
Get your tickets ready. It's time for the Saturday Lotto draw. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hello everyone, Melissa Hetherington here for Saturday's Lotto draw. Total prize pool for tonight is over $15.2 million. And our first call out tonight is number 30. Followed by number 21. Total Division 1 prize pool is over $4.2 million if won. There's number 4. It's draw number 3,199. Number 10. Our draw officials and government supervisor are of course with me tonight. Number 41. Last week we had 5 Division 1 winners who each picked up over $850,000. Very nice work. Number 42. And our first up out tonight is number 27. So the numbers you'll need are 30, 21, 4, 10, 41, 42 and supplementaries 27 and 34. I hope you are lucky. Good night.
When we wanted to improve our facilities, we wanted to create something special for our residents. Our therapy garden is designed to stimulate their senses. To find out more about Lottery West grounds, call this number or visit the website.
That's 7 News. Now we take you back to the third quarter of the NAB Cup Grand Final. Good night.